to 99 last night. And after the game, of course, LeBron was asked his thoughts about the blockbuster trade. Take a listen for yourself.
Don't really have too much of a reaction. Obviously trades and things happen every year. And, for me, my main focus on what we do here and how we continue to get better. And that was the case today. The trades happened today, and I couldn't allow myself to kind of indulge in that, knowing that we had a team that we had to play tonight. So my main focus today was on the Thunder.
All right, Shannon, what do you make of LeBron's reaction here?
Well, I think the biggest thing is LeBron is right. Trades do happen all the time, and you can't get caught up and say, okay, this guy went there and that guy went here. I have to worry about what's the focus at hand, and that's getting my team ready to play the Thunder. And although the Thunder is not a great team, but on any given night, you don't play your best. Because like you tell me sometimes, who cares about a Tuesday night? Who cares about a Wednesday night? But clearly the Lakers were focused, and from the opening tip, they approached it as such. But I think also LeBron understands, being a part of a big three, how hard it is for those pieces to come together in such a short period of time. And if you look at what happened with him, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh, Skip, if I'm not mistaken, I think at one point in time they were 9-8 in the first 17 games because D-Wade was like, okay, am I going to take it or you going to take it? Or you going to take it or am I going to take it? But we still got to get CB his touches too now because we can't leave him, unnoticed. And so it's a lot harder than people think, especially when you get superstars. D-Wade had won Finals MVP. Chris Bosh was a perennial all-star. LeBron James was who he was, two-time MVP, had gone to the finals. And so, you don't want to step on each other's toes. So it's a lot more, and LeBron understands, it's a lot more difficult than people think. This isn't, one of those video games, Skip, where you just play, well, I'm gonna play with this team and everything's gonna be okay. It doesn't work like that in actuality. It takes time to blend a team together. And so, and plus LeBron's like, I can't worry about what they're doing. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. I just need to make sure that I'm prepared and my team get better and better every time we step on the court. Because, Skip, with the protocols to where they are now, there's not gonna be a whole lot of shoot-arounds. There's not gonna be a whole lot of anything. So basically, you're just gonna be showing up at the arena and just playing. So I don't really know how much film study, because of only 10 people in a room at one time now. So the NBA has gotten very strict because of these outbreaks. They postponed a few games. And so it's gonna be very interesting to see moving forward. But LeBron should not give it like, oh, they traded, oh, good deal. And just keep it moving like he did.
Your demeanor and delivery matched LeBron's in the clip we just saw.
Yeah.
Where you're just dismissing this as it's just another trade. They come, they go. It happens
it's a
all the
blockbuster
time.
trade, but what you about to, man, I can't believe that. Man, the NBA shouldn't have let James Harden go to. So is that what you wanted in reaction? You're upset because you didn't get the reaction from LeBron that you thought you was gonna get.
I'm not surprised by this at all because he is the shrewdest of operators. Trust me, he had thought long and hard about how to respond after the game to the first media question about the blockbuster trade. And I'm pretty sure he decided, I'm not going to continue to fuel the hysteria that is taking the focus and the national spotlight off the Lakers and LeBron James, because that's what just happened. And you cannot tell me that LeBron didn't spend most of his afternoon, if not all of his afternoon, leading up to warming up before the game on the phone with Maverick or Rich saying, what you think? What you think? What you think? Going back and forth about, what do you think?
What are the things, Skip? I mean, they put together two guys that are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers in James Harden and KD. Kyrie's working his way into that discussion.
You don't think LeBron had conversations about, do you think it'll work? What are the problems? Do you think it's going to be an issue
I
or
just
not?
ask you the question. What general manager, what NBA player didn't have that?
Thank you. They all did.
Okay.
It was the talk of the world, the sports world yesterday. It transcended NBA. It was the NFL talk of the world. Every NFL player, even those getting ready for the playoffs, you don't think they were buzzing about this blockbuster?
Yeah, Skip,
Will it work?
It's just like everybody was buzzing when Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay. The NFL world was buzzing. The NBA world was buzzing. It happens when big megastars move teams. This is not you. I mean, you making it seem like this is unique. Was the world not buzzing when LeBron went to the Lakers? Was the world not buzzing?
No.
The world paused when LeBron James made the decision. So you make it seem like James Harden doing this is the first time we've got news like this.
No.
Okay.
You're just telling me that LeBron just shrugged it off, and I promise you he did not shrug it off.
How would you have him to respond?
I don't care how he responds. I was just curious to see how he would, and I thought this was a possibility. I thought he might be a little more generous to them because he likes them and he wants everybody to like him. He wants to be the ambassador for the NBA. I thought he might say it could be a great deal for, AD took the right stance. He said, on paper, it looks great. Well, that's fair. Okay, on paper, it does. Now he said you got to go between the lines and see if it starts to work between the lines.
Right.
Okay, that's a fair way to say it. LeBron could have said, "Oh, it's great for the league. It's going to create a lot of attention."
Guess what? Had LeBron said that, you would have said Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant would have never said that. They would have never been so complimentary. So LeBron James...
Well, Michael never thought of himself as the ambassador for basketball. He hated everybody.
Skip, here's the thing.
Doesn't LeBron want to be best friends with everybody he plays?
Skip, whatever LeBron thinks, LeBron James is the face of the NBA, just like Michael Jordan was the face of the NBA. But my thing is for you. If LeBron James had been complimentary of this, you would have said, this is why LeBron can never be the GOAT, because Michael Jordan would have never been complimentary. Kobe Bryant would have never been complimentary. Okay, he says, hey, I didn't get caught up into that. I had to get ready to play a game. And now you say, oh man, he was there. Oh, yes. Come on.
He wants to be the face of the league, and all of a sudden, he's not the spotlight of the league.
Is he not the face still?
The focus of this league, the new epicenter of the NBA world, is now in Brooklyn. Not in Manhattan, in Brooklyn. I never thought I would say these words because I grew up with the New Jersey Nets, who were just sort of out of sight and out of mind, and they moved to Brooklyn, and then they ultimately pulled this off.
Well, it was good when they had a doctor.
Okay. Well, when they were in the ABA. Yeah, okay. I got that. But my point is, this is now the total focus of this league going forward is going to be on, will this work or will this not work?
Right.
And they're going to come out here in the middle of February and play a game at Staples, and it will feel like a preview of the NBA Finals.
Well, if they had fans, Kim, can you imagine? Media. It would almost feel like a finals game.
It would.
With the amount of media credentials and the buzz around it, because everybody would have been on location.
Okay. So, in the biggest picture, LeBron James has the highest IQ in basketball. I think in basketball history, he is already calculating what he's up against. And obviously, injuries can play a part. I'm going to knock on wood. Obviously, KD has injury history. Kyrie has injury history. James doesn't have much, but it could factor into this. But if they stay healthy, LeBron has to know he's going to be up against a much bigger challenge if, in fact, he can get through the West to the NBA Finals. Because I'm going to remind everybody, in the bubble last year, he wound up in the Finals against an injury-riddled 5th seed. That ultimately, starting with game one, when they obviously lost Bam and Dragic, that had to play high minutes a night. 3 kids, Duncan Robinson and Hero and Kendrick Nunn, those 3 played high minutes like 25 minutes a night. Right. That's who you got to face in the NBA Finals. Well, what if it's KD, Kyrie, and James Harden?
Well, Skip,
won't that be a little different?
Well, here's the thing. Sure, it'll be different, but it's not like somebody just put the Heat there. The Heat had to win 4 rounds.
Okay, they
had
did.
to win 4 games each round.
But weird things kept happening in the bubble, and I think they were a weird thing. They just caught fire, and it felt almost like March Madness.
What was the weird thing that happened to the Clippers and why they weren't there?
Okay, they did not want to be in the bubble. That's as simple as that. We talked about this at length. The Lakers have all agreed they just didn't want to be in the bubble, and they were associating with them and fraternizing with them, and they knew they didn't want to be there.
If you don't mind me asking, if the East is so weak, why are you praising it now? You remember when LeBron was over there and you said the East is terrible? And the only reason he's
used to be.
Whoa, Skip.
Okay. So what?
The East is terrible. If it was a cakewalk then, why is it so tough now?
Well, because KD went there and Kyrie went there, and now James Harden went there.
Do you notice? All those 2 of those guys that you mentioned were in the West. My guy came West.
Yeah.
They went East.
Okay.
If
you think they're running?
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I'm just telling you what my guy did. Because you said my guy was ducking and dodging.
He was chasing Michael B. Jordan to Hollywood. That's what he was doing. And if he could get AD here, he'd have a shot. And in the bubble, he got a shot. And I believe it was the luckiest path to a finals you will ever find, ever, because they even dodged the Clippers.
No, they didn't
dodge the Clippers.
They didn't dodge the Clippers. The Clippers had the same opportunities that the Lakers had.